Sao Shang Hao, tibi, gratias, cura, αγαπώ, όλους. Apkiese mabuti ako, devo nikita niya vadaru. I'm outside going to do some outdoor yoga. It's a little chilly out here today, but that is good in my understanding for these kind of outdoor processes because it's just a little bit cold. So, I mean, in reference to going inside and doing the meditation and stuff like that, you should be able to block out a little bit of cold. It's a minor element. It's like that lawnmower. I should be able to block that lawnmower out. It's cold out. In reference to that, when you are cold, you will shiver. That's normal, and a lot of people seem to panic. But if you're shivering, it's okay. You should be able to be logical about it. It's healthy to shiver when you're cold. So, temperature doesn't really affect what I'm doing as much until it gets to a degree where I feel like, I can't block it out. The same applies when I'm in a kitchen. It can get pretty hot in there, and it doesn't really slow me down or bother me at all. I drink a lot of water when I'm warm, but again, that's just lifestyle. I just know the difference, so I just do, and that helps a lot. If you're in a hot kitchen and you find yourself getting tired and you have to work and you're not drinking water and you're still tired, well, you're very likely dehydrated. If you then grab soda pop, you're still dehydrated because there's nothing for hydration in soda pop. That's not my rule. So once again, I encourage everybody to drink lots of water. It provides hydration to your joints and organs, preventing disease. Helps your circulation. Circulation health is very important. It can prevent strokes, heart attacks, and a large number of fatalities. We know this. I'm just talking openly. So I'm going to get to that in a few minutes. I wanted to come online and discuss similarities that I have connected with learning language and learning health. Thank you very much for your time. In order to become a health expert, what would that person have to do? Well, they would have to study it in books and learn what people did prior to their studying. They would have to take that very seriously to a degree where ignoring the information is not an option. They're learning about health and they're doing it. So in that, you have to study it, you have to understand it, and then you also have to apply it to your practical living. Now, if you're taking becoming a health expert seriously, you know that we are not at ultimate health by any stretch of the imagination. So in that, you may discover things that contradict your previous understanding, but also knowing that we don't have ultimate health. It can be expanded on. You're only collecting information for you and your health ultimately. You can eat something that is very good for you, and it could do something very good for you. I don't have to eat it, and I very well may get that vitamin or mineral from a different food. So you're doing you. Believe what you discover and feel ultimately, because in that, you get to actually feel the difference and trust how you feel based on what you're eating. A lot of people do not connect how they feel and their lack of energy with the food they eat. And I'm really sorry, but that is it's a very naive perspective, because it is the biggest thing that's influencing your energy and your clarity. So someone that becomes a health expert knows these things and expands on things that are already available and practices it in their real life. That's understood. Now, in that, you have to take in the perspective of the medical field and all that comes with curing existing diseases. However, if you're expanding on health, you're hoping to help prevent those diseases. In doing that, that does not mean that we don't need those medical professions, because diseases and illnesses will always exist. If we clear up some of the ones we have now because we are correcting it through food, others will still come along, and we still need those individuals expanding their information as well. However, if we can get a grip on the health, those individuals won't have to do so many swabs and won't have to do so much like small health work stuff respectfully, and then they can actually focus on being the professionals that they want to be and expanding the medical field in the way they want to, instead of being super busy with a bunch of people that generally have a lack of understanding of their own health, respectfully. So we know our medical professionals are completely run off their feet, overworked, and all that stuff, and we don't need to get into it. We know the value of our healthcare workers as a population. So how do we help them? Well, we learn about our own health, and we don't have to go to them over as many small things, offering them the breathing room that they need to focus on emergencies and expand on the knowledge they already have, so they can do more amazing things in the future as well. In language, it's very much so similarly. You have to sit at the table and study it and learn it, take it seriously, respect it for what it is. In that, it doesn't matter if you're at a table in your home or in a college, respectfully, either way, if the language goes in and you can go out into your community and fluently speak several languages with people amongst the community, and you have a strong understanding in that way, well, you learned it, right? But additionally, you can't just study it. You do have to apply it. You have to practically practice every day. And well, not necessarily every day, depending on your dedication to fluency, right? Because you can enjoy a language and include a language in your life and not really be rushing into fluency. You just generally enjoy the language or the culture. For example, I speak to some Indian brothers that tell me that they still generally like movies from America and they like movies in English. When you're actually fluent in two languages, you don't have an ego about it. You can just speak them. So you have options. You can watch that movie or that movie. And I know a lot of my Indian brothers that like a lot of English movies. And I know why. Personally, I like a wide variety because of what I'm doing. But I like a lot of Indian movies. There's a lot of music and stuff. I don't know if you're aware of this, but the movies pretty much run the music industry in India. Like, you want to be in a good movie in India, and then chances are your music has a possibility of becoming more popular, which is a fair amount different than we have it here in Canada. But again, diversity is important. So in that, again, you have to apply it practically to what you're doing. And if you can efficiently go out and speak those languages and understand all that stuff, and you have actually sat down and studied and took on the actual practice of learning the health discoveries, you can actually become a health expert and a language expert at the same time, very logically. Additionally, it's understood that linguistic skills requires a mental strength. And if you're taking pristine care of your physical health, as nature requires, regardless what the humans around you are doing, well, that is going to logically develop a significant mental strength and clarity, which will then be able to be applied to your linguistic study. So in that, for me, locally, people have seen me serving them pizza for like 20 years, working in kitchens, moving constantly, suffering the economy. And now if I tell them that I'm a language expert and a health expert, they're probably going to have some energy about that. And if you're local to me, your energy is your own responsibility, respectfully. And I know a lot of people have seen me working throughout my life. And in reference to the instruments and stuff, I've been playing all the instruments since I was 19, so that's not really a thing. And people know that I had full albums created by myself as an individual by the time I was 20. And now I'm in a position where just now, from basically 40 years of off and on work, because even when I wasn't focusing on putting this out per se, and say I was in a relationship and working on family values, a lot of those people also helped me develop health knowledge, and I appreciate everybody's help along the way. Some people taught me about calories and stuff that I didn't know, calorie counting and stuff, and then that went into my knowledge. And other people taught me about all kinds of different things, and I collected it along the way, and I love everybody. But now, after this immense effort, I'm in this moment, and it's hard for a lot of people to accept that I have sculpted myself into a language and health expert. The health expert might make sense to some people because, like I said, I was going through the extracting the sugar addiction publicly. So people saw what I was going through, and they know that I did this. And the people that did help me with health along the way respectfully also know that when we were guided in different directions, whoever you are, I stuck with it and continued to add to it as an individual. And whether if those individuals did or not, or what degree they took, I can't even say because I'm not them and I'm not there. But I know I did. I know how a lot of those people functioned while we were together and eating purely. And so that goes into my information as well. So I can understand why it would be difficult for some people to grasp. But additionally, you know how, like, if something develops quickly, it's more of a shock. Like, if it develops slowly, you have time to get used to the idea. And that's why I would say fairly that a lot of people in my area would understand how I could have become a food expert, because they know I've been studying, I've been ranting about it, overly annoyingly healthy to everybody around me, and I don't want to get into it. But I've studied it and I know it, and I'm trying to help all the children be healthier, and I believe the people in my area that watched me work over the years, they would even be able to accept that. But the linguistic skills and becoming a language expert, that is a lot more difficult for them to understand. But with what I've displayed over the last 2 years, it's kind of hard to deny me of the effort that I put in on it. And I need to get to my outdoor activities. I'm starting to shiver a little bit, so I want to focus before I let my mind go on me. But I am going to tell you something right now that 我不想说 对不起 I don't want to say it, but I know a lot of the times I say, you won't believe how long it took me. And then I'll show you a picture of me at a piano when I was 2, and it really does go back that far, whether if you can accept it or not. But that's not what I mean by it. I don't mean you won't believe it because it took me 38 years. You won't believe it because I was monolingual as of February 2019. February 2019 was when I started learning Mandarin. This is only 2022, and I've already been online with this information since 2020. 我知道我学得很快. That means I know I learn really fast. 我知道为什么. I know why. I'm the one doing it. Are you able to give me credit yet for my efforts? 你不必. You don't have to. 没关系，我明白。我会告诉你为什么我能做到. I will tell you why I can do it. Food. That's why. But with that said, 我必须去。感谢上帝. I'll be back online as soon as I can. 我爱你们. Filipino Figo.